Absolute madness for the CS Shanghai Major. What is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well, enjoying some liquids on this fine morning. On yesterday's video, we had a story covered that was around a team that was supposedly banned and disqualified from the EU RMRs for the Shanghai Major. Not too many CS teams get banned in full, especially when video evidence surfaces, and a perfect world statement was even made around this team known as Team Parivision. In case you guys missed the original context around that story, it was all because they had a Valve banned coach, or a believed to be Valve banned coach known as F1N or Ivan in the same room during their celebration during their RMR run. That kind of had the whole thing crumble down. So here's them celebrating, and if you look very closely, that supposedly banned coach was also in the celebration video.
Санечек, блядь, пирожочек. Я тебя люблю, сука. Это мразь, конченая. На последней минуте. Давай, сильно учил.
But now, within 24 to 48 hours of Perfect World making this statement and people thinking they were banned and disqualified, maybe they are not, which is wild for a lot of different reasons, as Perfect World themselves had posted about this and even had an investigation into the matter and subsequent discussion with Valve. It was determined that Parivision had a permanently Valve banned individual, that being Ivan the coach, present during a live match for the recent EU closed qualifier for the Shanghai Major EU RMR. Therefore, the following has been decided: Parivision's eligibility in the major cycle has been cancelled, and they are disqualified for the RMRs and any other portion of the major. They also gave the following teams a second chance in a best of three kind of cycle to earn their chance even further, that being Koi, Monty, and Bleed. And they finished with this statement: it should be noted that Valve bans are by default the highest priority eligibility related rule set in any official event. And when these bans are well known and established beforehand, as was the case here, it is expected that all the teams should follow these eligibility rules prior to any further participation in the official event. Which is even crazier because this is a Perfect World investigation also talking to Valve, and now there's rumors that this team, well, they will be allowed to compete yet again. And that's after Parivision themselves made a statement saying, hey, we told the guys the roster ahead of time, we're going to continue to look into this, and had a pretty decent post given the situation of all of a sudden their run ending and being barred from the rest of the major cycle. Well, now it's sources out there saying that the team is actually allowed to compete, and the supposed Valve banned coach, well, he was unbanned a while back, and just, this is crazy. And Valve somehow didn't know about it. I don't know how these things are possible. As according to HLTV, Parivision's RMR disqualification overturned after appeal. Apparently, F1N appealed his ban with the ESIC months ago, but the esports watchdog failed to share its decision with Valve. And according to this, Parivision will be allowed to compete at the Perfect World Shanghai Major Europe RMR after successfully arguing its case with Valve. Multiple sources have now told HLTV the Russian team was DQ'd from the competition due to having that Valve banned individual, that being their coach Ivan, present during their closed qualifier campaign. The 40-year-old and accompanying staff surrounding the team in a now deleted celebratory video, which we've already shown you guys. F1N was among over 30 coaches banned by the Esports Integrity Commission, ESIC. Shouts to them, in 2020 for using the infamous coaching bug. He was found to have used it in 6 official matches for 34 rounds, resulting in a 9-month ban from ESIC member events and a perma ban from Valve majors based on his total demerit points. However, sources tell HLTV that the Russian coach successfully appealed his ban with the ESIC and had his demerit points reduced earlier this year, but the ESIC did not announce it or share the decision with the proper parties. What? I mean, ESIC has been under flack for a long time, but what are we talking about? With the reduction in points, he would fall below the 6-point cutoff for a permanent suspension by Valve and would be allowed to return to majors, which now appears to be the reality after Valve reportedly made aware of the ESIC's decision. As a result, the 2 last chance qualifier matches that were scheduled between Koi, Monty, and Bleed are also expected to be canceled. So all within 24 to 48 hours, we have this team supposedly disqualified from their entire entire major run for a Valve banned coach being present with them in the room in a celebration video. And all heck breaks loose, right? People think, oh, how stupid are you to have hired a Valve banned coach and to be in the same room with you nonetheless in a celebration video during your major run. And they say, oh, we're going to appeal this because they knew about this ahead of time. And then we find out the ESIC had never even announced that this guy had his suspension reduced. Shout out to the ESIC, the best in the business, but also shouts to Team Parivision. If you guys watched yesterday's video, I felt really bad for the players. I know there's mixed responses out there, and there certainly were a lot of hateful comments towards that team for their choices, but you felt really bad for the players nonetheless because they seemingly had earned it, and now with the appeal of the decision, they will be back, and there will be a lot of stories around Parivision if they can make it any further than said closed qualifier. They went from being banned and disqualified to now unbanned in just a couple of days. I also feel really bad for Koi, Monty, and Bleed, but I guess, you know, you can't put yourself in that 2-3 position to begin with if you want to move forward in a major qual run. What do you guys think about this? What a day for CS News. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and we'll catch you back here sometime soon, probably tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.